Hello, beautiful humans. I am so excited for today's podcast, and can I just tell you that I manifested this exact situation the amount of times I wrote down in my journal and probably talked about it online. Bonus points to you if you can find a piece of content where I talk about this situation, where I am recording my podcast on my balcony on a cute couch with my golden doodle sitting on my lap, because that is exactly where we are right now, except he's not on my lap. He's behind me because he's a little bit too big to sit on my lap anymore. But yeah, I manifested all of this, and now we're here, and I'm like a little bit freaking out at how specific it has been manifested. I am a specific manifester, so the details, like down to a T, are all here, like down to the outfit and the haircut. It's like actually a little bit surreal, but I'm so excited to tell that to you because it's just your reminder that you can manifest anything you want and you can get specific. If you enjoy that, if you are a specific manifester, don't be afraid to get specific with the details. Get specific with examples of how you want to see yourself. Close your eyes and imagine yourself in that place. Imagine yourself scrolling through your camera roll and seeing pictures and videos of yourself in the place you're manifesting. Like, it is all so possible. Don't be afraid to get specific with exactly where you want to see yourself, and trust that anything can happen. So I'm really excited for today's podcast episode because, well, first of all, if you want to see the setup, come on over to YouTube. We are hanging out on YouTube, like we're on FaceTime. Maybe you can go sit outside too, and you can set up your phone or your laptop wherever you're watching this, and we can act like we're on FaceTime. I think that is such a fun element to have. Also, I do apologize if there's any background noise because we are sitting outside, so there might be birds chirping or wind or, outside noises. So I do apologize. But if you want to come over to YouTube and watch like we're face to face over here, that is such a fun element. But also, either way, make sure you go subscribe to YouTube because today's episode directly corresponds with the vlog that's coming your way this Friday. The vlog is me inserting myself into an experiment of exactly what I'm teaching you guys today. So as you can see from the title of this podcast, it says your goals simply can't flop with this method, and I'm teaching you this goals method that is basically bulletproof. Like, it is rigged for your success. And not only am I yapping at you about this method and talking you through how you can implement it, I put myself in an experiment this week for the vlog, and last week too. We're going to talk all about it to prove to you that it is possible and that this is a golden approach to achieving your goals. Success is literally inevitable. I inserted myself in this experiment of starting a goal that I used to deem impossible for myself. I didn't pick an easy one that I'm like, oh yeah, this is something I can do super easy. I picked the one that I used to say is impossible for me, and that is waking up before the sun. Because I always used to say, I'm not a morning person. I don't want to wake up early. Me saying, oh, I don't want to wake up early was really my mask of me saying, I really would love to wake up early every day and have a routine in place that involves me waking up and being present in the sunshine, but I don't think I'm capable of committing to it. So I'll just say I don't want to do it so that I'm not a failure or so that I don't look incapable. I'm making the choice that I don't want to. But that was not the case. I really have always wanted to be a morning person, and that was one of the biggest goals that I was like, that is not going to be me. The truth is, your goals cannot flop with this method. It puts you in control. It covers all the bases. But the spoiler is that this really has nothing to do with the goal itself at all, which is part of why I'm so excited to share it with you, because this can apply across the board. Business, money, fitness, lifestyle, happiness goals, whatever the goals are, even relationship goals, this can apply across the board because it puts you in control. And I'm so excited to share this experiment with you. I'm excited to share the vlog of the experiment with you. It's going to be so cool. So I'm really excited to dive into this episode together. Reminder that you can join me inside of camp for $100 off for a limited time only. Camp is a life-changing experience, and it is designed to shift your mindset and your life around in just 10 days. That's it. All the fingers on your hands, that's all it's going to take. 10 days, you get lifetime access to this course. Camp is for you if you're trying to build habits, but you feel like you're running in circles. You're craving this positive mindset that we're all trying to embody here together, but you're really struggling to get there consistently and show up for the goals again and again. You're ready to heal and do the inner work, but these mindset blocks keep getting in the way, like these pests in the back of your mind that you can't seem to work through. And you see yourself celebrating huge goals. You have a huge vision for yourself. You have a huge dream of what your future looks like. Specifically, you know that you're meant for so much more than what you saw growing showing up, which means it's time to heal and do the inner work to make it happen. And that's what camp is all about. From mindset to manifestation, we are changing your life around. Inside, we will get so deep into your mindset, perspectives, your self-image, your self-love, your divine capabilities, building your habits, achieving your goals, simplifying the laws of manifestation, the alignment method, and the Ikigai to help you find your purpose in life, money mindset healing, escaping your comfort zone, growth mindset, how to work through and heal your imposter syndrome, how to activate your intuition, and initiating daily practices to change your life like gratitude and reflection and so much more. There's daily journal prompts and resources inside. There's bonus features, discount links, so much more, plus lifetime access to the course. So if I decide to add more to it later on, make future updates as I continue to grow as a mentor, you have free lifetime VIP access to all of those amazing future updates for life. You can get in now for $100 off. Usually it's $400 to join camp. Today you can join me for $299. And again, your entire life can change in 10 days. P.S. Since you have that lifetime access, you are in control of when those 10 days start. So if you decide your day one is today, then you can start those. It's the click of a button after you join. You have your camp portal. Then once you're inside, you click a button that says, I'm ready to start my 10 days. Then the 10 days of emails of accountability from me. Yes, you get messages from me every day for 10 days in a row, holding you accountable, making sure that you're plugging into camp, not letting this be an investment that sits on the shelves, never looked at. You are active with me and committing to your alignment journey. You get to press that button that says I'm ready to start my 10 days. And guess what? There's no limits to how many times you can press that button. You can restart those 10 days again and again and again and again for life. It's designed to be a lifetime sustainable course that you can repeat and rebirth over and over again. It's really so amazing. You can get in for $100 off right now. It is such an amazing resource, and I'm so excited to see you inside. Of course, if you have any questions at all, send me a message over on Instagram. This $100 off is for a limited time only, so make sure you go grab it through the link in the description. Now let's get into this episode. Pick a goal, set a goal in your mind that you are going to be thinking about and referencing as we go through this method today so that you can be activating it with me. Let's dive in. Welcome to Perspective with Kaylee Phillips, the safe space to get deep, break through, and find alignment. Here we prioritize wholehearted self-love, passion-driven careers, and living your absolute best life. You're here for a reason, so jump into the good energy, put your rose-colored glasses on, and tune in for massive impact and growth. I'm your host, KP, ready to release perfect and welcome perspective. My goal in this experiment was becoming a morning person by waking up with the sunrise and going for a walk as the sunrise. I guess I should say waking up before the sun. Waking up before the sun. The fun part is I also did the polarity of this goal the week before for the purpose of this experiment. I slept in every day. I said I'm going to sleep until I don't feel like sleeping anymore. I'm not setting any alarms. If there is for some reason an alarm, I am hitting snooze and letting myself rest. I'm prioritizing my rest. I did this with no guilt at all. I became a night owl. I stayed up until like midnight to 2 in the morning working on some stuff, editing videos on my phone. I let myself be totally free in my sleeping schedule, complete freedom, so that I could see the polarity of that side of complete freedom, complete whatever I want, versus this goal of waking up before the sun rises and getting myself out of bed in the sun and moving my body as the sun is rising. We are going to go through the why, the intention behind this, why this polarity was so important, and exactly how I was successful with this goal, because I knew this was a goal I wanted to achieve. And like I said in the beginning, I used to tell myself I did not want this goal, when deep down this is something I have wanted for so long. I have always said I want to be a morning person on the inside. On the outside, I said, oh, I don't want to be a morning person, because I had so much doubt in myself and doubt in my ability to actually pull through with it, and so much fear of failure that I just claimed that I didn't even want it. That's how badly I really did want to be a morning person. And now I am. I've achieved this, and I found sustainability in it. I found growth in it, and it is so amazing what is possible when you really just let yourself commit to it. Keep a goal in your mind that you are going to be relating back to and activating all of these different approaches to as we go through it so that you can make it happen for yourself. First thing we're going to talk about here is willpower. There is a difference between having strong willpower and forced hustle, and we need to learn this difference. Because there's something I like to call pulling the alignment card that I think is not talked about at all and really needs to be talked about, because it is a toxic habit that needs to be broken. What it is, when you're pulling the alignment card, It's when you're using excuses like I'm protecting my peace, or I'm resting, or I'm not showing up today as the excuse for not moving towards your goals to make yourself feel better about it. We need to talk about it because this is something I have fallen victim to. I have watched clients fall victim to this, and it's not right for you. It's not what's going to help you progress. If we have this vision, if you have this vision board in front of you, you have this goal that you're aiming to achieve, and every day you're letting yourself do nothing towards that goal in the name of protecting your peace, then there is something out of alignment, because at the end of the day, everything you're doing towards your goals should be activating your peace, should be activating your alignment. So if moving towards your goals is opposition of protecting your peace, it's harming your peace, then this is not a goal you want to work towards. And we're going to talk more about this too as we get more into the episode of the intentions behind your goals. But pulling the alignment card is saying, I'm doing this to protect my mindset, I'm doing this to protect my alignment, when really it's an excuse for not wanting to show up and do the work. And I have chatted with a few of the biggest success stories and one of my favorite women in business about how we get to that millionaire place. How do we get to this rapid success, this amazing manifesting all of these amazing results? How do we get there? It's not by sitting back and doing nothing. It's about doing the work. There is work that needs to be done, but it's asking the question, is this work that feels aligned with me? Is it fun for me to show up? And do I feel so called to work on my offers and work on my business and build this business and show up every day for it because it lights me up? Because in your ikigai, right? We talk about the ikigai a lot in camp and in every single thing, even in my free masterclass. If you want to go download that, I go pretty deep into the ikigai in there. When we're talking about pursuing your passion, it's exciting. It lights you up. It's what you love and it's what you're good at. So protecting your peace is doing the work. But sometimes we have this excuse of, I'm not showing up today because I'm protecting my peace. And I'm not saying that that can never happen. Sure, if there's a day where you're feeling sick, you're feeling low energy, you're going through something, you're on your period, there's a day where you're like, no, I need to protect my peace by not hustling today, then you are so valid. But if it's happening again and again and again, and it's a pattern of protecting your peace when really you're just avoidant to the work, or you're not aligned with the work, or you're not sure what to do, so we just don't do anything, then you are creating a barrier to your goals. And this is such a tough one to break, because it really you have to get into that vulnerable conversation with yourself of, yeah, you know what? This is an excuse. This is an excuse that I'm using. And the reason I'm so comfortable and confident telling you about it is because I have watched myself do it. And now in reflection, I'm looking back and saying, yeah, you were making up an excuse and you were calling it a mindset day. But what were you really doing for yourself anyway? Nothing. Scrolling on your phone, that's not a mindset day. You know, if you're going to do a mindset day, if you're going to protect your peace for a day, then do it right. You know, really take care of yourself and set the intention to show up tomorrow. What are we going to change? How are we going to be proactive so that tomorrow will be a better day? Best way to build your willpower. So the willpower, strong willpower for me looked like showing up and not hitting snooze because it aligns directly with the goal I'm trying to pursue. And I'm trying to pursue this goal of waking up with the sun, and I want to see myself glowing in the sunshine every morning, even if I'm a little bit tired when the alarm goes off. At the end of the day, there's a difference between strong willpower of, this is a goal I really want to see myself achieve, and it's sometimes going to be hard, but I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to show myself that I'm capable of hard things, versus not letting yourself do anything hard in the name of protecting your peace and hitting snooze and not pushing yourself at all, not developing any willpower and pulling that alignment card. Do you hear me? I hope you hear what I'm saying. I hope you're understanding the difference here, because there is a difference, and there is a place of hustle culture that we do not want to get into, where we're constantly pushing ourselves to show up when it doesn't feel good, and it never feels good, and it just feels like this never-ending rat race. That's not where we're putting ourselves. But I am empowering you to learn and embody and strengthen your willpower, because your goals deserve that. That version of yourself that has all of these amazing things that you're manifesting deserves that willpower, deserves showing up when it feels hard. Because that version of yourself who's waiting for you to come and tap into her with all of the money and all of the travel and all the things is saying, you got this. Just show up for me. Show up for me. Show up for your future self. Some simple ways now for you to build your willpower. These are some very, very simple ones that I've been doing over the course of a few years that has actually helped me tremendously. They're very simple. Cold showers, or even just at the end of your shower. At the end of your shower, do a cold rinse, like all the way cold, and just stand there for like give me 5 seconds, then maybe the next time try 10 seconds. That is a really, really powerful way to build up willpower. I'm not even joking. It's such a good one because you're training your body that even though this feels a little bit, at first, it feels a little bit cold, it feels cold, it's a little uncomfortable. It's so good for you. It's so good for your mental health, and it feels good after. And that's training you that, okay, you know what? Even when things are a little bit hard in the moment, the results are great. The other one is just not hitting snooze, and that's a bigger one, but it is such an easy choice of choosing your future self because it's in the moment. You're choosing your future self of that day. I'm not choosing myself 10 years down the line. I'm choosing my future self in the next 15 minutes. Am I going to choose 15 minutes more of sleep, or am I going to choose that I want to go be outside in that sunrise? And that's also why this sunrise goal was so important, because the sun rises and then that's it. I missed it. It's not like I could say, okay, today I'll take another 30 minutes. The sun is rising and I'm either there or I'm not there. That's the first part here, building your willpower. Now the second part, setting yourself up for success. This is where I'm saying it's not about the goal at all. It's about what goes on before and after the goal that is really going to help you propel, because we need to set the stage. We need to make it easy. So what are some ways that I can make this easy for myself? So if I want to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to wake up before the sunrise and be outside on a walk as the sun is rising every day, if I decide to stay up all night and not get good sleep, and I decide to not eat well the day before, not drink water, and then just randomly decide this is what I'm going to do, it's going to be very difficult because I've not set my body and mind up for success. And even if I do get up and get outside on no sleep and low energy and not enough water, no hydration in my system, a headache, I could get out there, sure, and I could say, okay, I did it, but then I come back inside and then by 10 a.m. I'm taking a nap. And that kind of defeated the purpose of my early start to the day, right? So we need to set ourselves up for success. So for me, this looked like making it simpler for myself. I have my clothes out already. I don't have to worry about choosing what to wear. They are already laid out the night before. I made sure that my curtain was open. This allowed some natural lighting to come in so that I wasn't in my dark and cozy room. I had the sun already kind of peeking in. The sun wasn't risen yet, but it also isn't pitch black. There was some natural light coming in, so it wasn't this completely dark, blacked out room. I also have a scheduled light that turns on, and I'm going to link it. I'll put it on the screen here on YouTube so you can see it, and I'll put it in the description. It's called a Govee light. You might have a few of them in your house. We use all Govee lights in our house, but specifically the nightstand Govee is really cool. I think actually more of them can do this. Maybe the light bulbs can too, but I really love this one. And it's cool because you can schedule a sunrise on your Govee lamp, so the sun would essentially rise before I wake up, because I don't like audio alarms. They drive me crazy. Like when the sound is going off and then you start to hate that sound, I just don't respond well to it. So I have my watch that I sleep with, which tracks my sleeping, and that has an alarm on it that vibrates. So it's not any noise, it's just the vibrating on my wrist, which I find to be a very peaceful waking up experience. And the Govee light is like a sunrise, and you can schedule for the sun to rise from like 6 to 6:30, for example, and it will very slowly, gradually get brighter and brighter until it reaches the maximum brightness. And that just allows me to very peacefully open my eyes. And limited stimulation at night, of course, and drinking water. This is going to move us right into the next one I'm going to talk about, which is habit stacking, because this is a key thing here. If none of these things exist in your world yet, like I just said, going to sleep early, limiting your stimulation at night, eating right, drinking water, you can't try to change your whole life around overnight. So again, if I were in a position where I were staying up all night, every night, I had terrible habits, and I decide, you know what, I'm going to start waking up at 6 a.m. every day. That's not sustainable, because there's a lot of different pieces that need to go into sustainably waking up at 6 a.m. every day to have this goal be locked in and sustainable for consistency, right? And it took me a couple months to get to this big goal of waking up with the sunrise, but it started with, I'm just going to drink more water. I don't drink enough water. I'm going to drink more water, until I found that I was in a place where I'm always drinking enough water. And that's just like a almost mindless habit that I just do each day. Then I added in the healthy eating element to the enough water element. And then limited stimulation at night goal. That's another hard one. We can't just say, okay, I'm not going to touch my phone. You can, but it's just not sustainable. Let's just be honest with each other, because maybe you'll do it the first night, but after like a week, you're going to be like, you know what? I miss being on my phone at night. And then that's it. We need to build these things up gradually. So that one started with having a limited screen time at night. Maybe I scroll for 20 minutes and then your phone, you set up that setting where it locks after 20 minutes of scrolling. Then it was no social media at night. I can be on my phone, maybe like playing games or checking like BuzzFeed, but no social media, no Instagram, no TikTok, no like scrolling. I could read something, I could play New York Times games, I could play other games, but no social media. Then that led to no phone at all for the last like 10 minutes before I fall asleep. Then it led to no phone for the hour before falling asleep, and that's where I ideally wanted to end up, and that's where I am now. But it started very slowly with building these things up gradually. When we look at the bigger picture here, again, it's not about the goal itself of I'm going to wake up with the sunrise and go for a walk, but it's about all of these other elements that go into this goal, that fuel this goal and make this goal simpler and act as strengtheners and energizers to make this goal more possible. Now, my next step here is the enjoyment, because your goals are supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to be fun. So if you're resenting the goal that you're trying to achieve and you're hating the process, then we need to either shift the perspective around it. So if you were me trying to wake up every morning and hating it, absolutely hating it, then we need to shift the perspective around why we're waking up early in the first place, or we need to redefine why we're here, because we need to be sure that this is a goal that actually aligns with your highest self. For example, setting the goal of limiting all sugar and dairy to be skinny. That's not an aligned goal at all. That is having to do with how other people perceive you. Skinny is just a whole other topic that we can get into that I've been there before, and that is just not supporting your highest self. It's not supporting your health or your well-being. It's not well-rounded with your ikigai, with your alignment. It's not a sustainable goal that really fuels you and energizes the fun part of life. So what I want you to do for the enjoyment element of your goal is create some affirmations for yourself that live wherever the triggers happen, wherever the trigger of maybe I don't need this goal, or maybe I can stop, maybe I can quit moving towards this goal, wherever those come up. So for example, if you're waking up early every morning, this affirmation can live right on your nightstand, or it can be your lock screen, or it can be on your alarm clock if you have one, or it could be the title of your alarm, or it could be on your bedside table lamp. It can be wherever the triggers happen, which for me, it's right when I wake up, right when that alarm goes off. Have that there and present, and make this an affirmation that directly correlates with why you are moving towards this goal. And this leads me into setting this intention in the first place. Why are you doing this? Why are you setting this goal? What is the vision? Where does this goal live on your vision board? Is it there? Does it live on your vision board? Point it out for me. Figure out where it lives and what it connects back to in the greater vision of your life. And how does this contribute to your ikigai? So when I'm saying ikigai again and again, I'm talking about this diagram. It's a Japanese concept. Again, you can download my free masterclass, or you can join camp if you want to get more into it. It contributes to the greater good. It contributes to something that you love. It's something that you're good at. And it contributes to your career in some way. So those 4 categories: the greater good of the world, something you love, something you're good at, and something that relates to your career or makes you money or fuels that professional path in some direction. So for me, how does this waking up early each morning and walking with the sunrise impact all 4 of those categories? For me, the greater good of the world is sharing this with you guys. I believe that this message is my portion of the greater good and making the world a better place by helping you achieve your goals. I love the sun and I love walking, so that's what I love. I am really good at fitness and I'm really good at goal achieving, and those 2 elements together is the things that I am strong in. And then sharing it with you guys here contributes to my career. So it fits everywhere for me, and I'm able to pinpoint how it matches all of those categories, or I would say at least 3 of those categories. I think sometimes things aren't going to relate to your career, for example, but for the most part, we want everything to always contribute. Every goal that we're moving towards, we want it to contribute to all of those different elements. Now, the next part of this bulletproof goal plan, no complaining. And now this isn't toxic positivity. I'm not saying to fake a perfect smile, but again, if we've done the last step here of enjoyment, genuine enjoyment, creating these affirmations, getting rooted in your intention of why you're moving towards this goal, then the toxic positivity shouldn't be a question mark, because we are sure that this is a goal that fuels you and a goal that you're going to prioritize for the greater good of your happiness and your vision of life, right? So when I say no complaining, I don't mean put on a toxic positivity mask. I want you to be reflective, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So it's okay to feel your feelings, as always. Feel all the highs and lows, but no mindless complaining. The sentence, "I'm so tired," is probably one of the most common said phrases ever, And most of the time, it's not even a genuine statement of like, wow, I am actually feeling very tired right now in my body. It's just something that we say to fill silences or to start conversation or just to say something. I'm so tired. How often do you say that? I want you to keep track of how often you say, I'm so tired, or I'm so cold, or something like that, where you're just mindlessly complaining and not really fueling anything, not making anything productive happen. It's just this mindless complaint that your subconscious is picking up on. So instead of complaining, what is something better that you can say? Give yourself a compliment, give someone else a compliment, say something positive. No complaining, especially about the goal or when you're in the goal. Because I could have spent the whole walk saying, I'm so tired, I'm so cold, and just complaining, but I chose not to. I chose I'm not going to do that. I'm going to choose enjoyment. I'm going to choose these affirmations. I'm going to choose to always come back to this intention that I've set that aligns with why I'm here in the first place. Now, my next piece for you, excuse interruptions. Let's address the excuses that will come up during your progress towards achieving this goal and making it a sustainable habit. And let's decide what narrative we are creating. For me, these were my excuses. I need more sleep. That's the first thing that comes up when I hear that alarm. Do I though? Because I have set some parameters to make sure that I'm not getting into the hustle culture and I'm also not pulling that alignment card. I need to get 7.5 hours of sleep. That is my goal. That is where I feel at my peak. When I oversleep, I get very tired and I feel kind of like drowsy throughout the day. And obviously when I undersleep, I feel exhausted too. But do you guys experience that too? When you sleep too much, you start to feel like you just can't get the tired to go away because you overslept. So that happens for me. So my goal is 7.5 hours of sleep. So if I wake up and I hear that alarm and I say I need more sleep, look at my watch. My watch tracks my sleeping. I slept for 8.5 hours. I'm good. I do not need more sleep. I just need to wake up. I just need a minute. So then I set this rule for myself. If I hear that alarm and I feel like I want to hit snooze, even though I got all of the sleep that I have deemed essential for a successful day, I am going to set this rule for myself where I have to stand up, I have to drink water, and I have to walk around a moment. If I then still feel tired and I still feel like, no, I'm not ready to start my day, then I can get back in bed. But I cannot just hit snooze and go back to sleep because I very easily can do that. But I never feel good about it. I never feel like, yeah, that was the right choice unless I genuinely did not get enough sleep. So that is forcing me to be reflective and to be present in my decision making. The other one I get in my head is like, oh, it's fine. I deserve to rest. I deserve to sleep in. Again, the alignment card. But I literally just rested, and that's clearly just an excuse coming in. The other excuse that comes up for me in this goal is it's cold out. It's too cold because it is kind of cold around here. So I set another rule. If it's less than 32 degrees, because on the first day it was actually 32 degrees when we went, and it was actually so nice. The cool air was very nice because it was still sunny. So if it's less than 32 degrees or if it's raining, then I go on the treadmill. And that's my rule because it's the same diff. It's literally the same diff. And if I really don't want to, then we're going to get to that. So my next step for you is the zero avoidance policy. I think this is a huge one because avoidance tendencies run deep. How many times have you set a goal, didn't achieve it, didn't show up for it, and then avoided the goal moving forward for like a few weeks or maybe a long time, or maybe you're still avoiding it to this day, or avoided the fact that you missed it because you don't want to address it at all? This has been an extremely reflective process for me, and I believe that the only way to be totally successful is to be in that reflective state, asking myself a lot of questions, having conversations and open dialogue with myself, journaling a lot about how I'm feeling before, during, and after the goal itself. If I'm going to decide to skip on this goal, I'm not going to go about my morning like nothing happened. If I'm deciding to skip on this goal, I need to ask myself why. I need to be very clear on that decision. I need to make sure I'm deciding this is worth the skip. There's a clear reason to skip on this goal. What will I do tomorrow to continue moving forward in my progression towards consistency with this goal? So at the end of the day, knowing all of this, I am more often than not going to just get up and do the thing because that feels so much better for me than having to go through all of this reflective process. That's the truth about it, because I know this is not the type of thing where I'm going to be avoidant. I'm not going to be avoidant to the goal. I'm not going to be avoidant to the conversations. If I decide I'm going to hit that snooze button or I'm going to turn off the alarm and go back to sleep, there is going to be conversation with myself, with my inner being, with the mindset, with the habits. I'm looking back at what we've been up to, and I'm making a decision to move forward and to set a new parameter of why did this happen. And it's going to get serious. I'm having these conversations with myself because I care about this goal, and because I'm reminded again and again and again of that intention that I set, that this goal is important to me. It's so important to me for a greater good. Having that reflective conversation with yourself and a zero avoidance policy is so important. And now we need to set the parameters for sustainability. So what are the terms for missing this goal? Because again, we're not pushing a hustle culture where you're never allowed to not show up, you're never allowed to miss the goal, but there should be terms in place for missing the goal, so that we're not just missing because you didn't feel like it, because that's not what's in the best interest of your highest self. There's something different in store for you, and what's in store for your future relies on your willpower and your ability to say, I can do hard things and it will get easier over time, and I deserve to build this habit, and my higher self is waiting on me to build this habit. So what happens when I'm on my period? What happens when I'm sick? What is the bare minimum completion for this goal? I think this is a really important one, to set some type of spectrum of the bare minimum for completion and the most you can possibly do for completion. And I think the most isn't entirely necessary. It can be fun, especially with like a fitness goal or like a locking into work mode goal, where you can say like the maximum hours and the minimum hours. But for me, like for example, today I went on an almost hour-long walk, and it was amazing. And I'm so glad I got up and went. And honestly, I would have gone back to sleep. I thought about it for a moment. If I wasn't in such a reflective place and setting myself up for success again and again with this goal, I probably would have just knocked back to sleep and completely forgotten about all of these important elements of this simple goal of waking up and getting outside. But today I went for almost an hour walk. It was so lovely. The weather was amazing, and I felt great. But on another day, maybe it's cloudy, maybe I'm just on my period, maybe I'm not feeling it as much. This could look like a 15-minute stroll that's very easy, very comfortable. I'm in comfortable clothes, and it's just simply getting the sun on my face or getting myself moving. So my bare minimum for this goal is a 15-minute light walk, and then my maximum is 90-minute walk. And that really just depends on the weather, how I'm feeling, and what I'm ready for that day. But no matter what, I will put myself in those parameters unless something major is going on where I literally cannot get outside. But at the end of the day, the treadmill is there. There is no reason that I can't get up and have 15 minutes of strolling to start my day. And over and over again in this experiment, I have never, ever once regretted getting up. There has never been a day where I said, I regret getting up this morning. I regret showing up for that walk this morning. It has never, ever happened, because I set these parameters, I set these intentions, I have my affirmations all over my nightstand, and it's gotten to a point where I don't even need those affirmations because it just feels so right, and those affirmations are embedded in my brain. But if I would have gone into this on just I think I'm going to wake up early, and that's all I set up for myself, I didn't really get deep into the intentions, get deep into why it matters, get so committed to myself, make that promise to myself with the willpower, and really make sure that this is something that is going to fuel my future, I don't believe I still would be doing it, honestly, because the amount of times I've said, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start doing that, and then I just didn't hold myself to it because I didn't make it matter. You know, we have to decide to make things matter. And if you don't care enough to make it matter, then it must not be that important to you. And at the end of the day, that's what it is. And like I said in the beginning of this, I have talked with so many of my inspiration stories. And I'm so excited to have more guests coming on, by the way. There's going to be so many guests coming in the future months of the podcast, which is so cool. And I'm so excited to get you guys hearing some new voices talking about their alignment journeys and their perspectives on everything. At the end of the day, there's the inner work, and then there's the actual work. And there is a big gap between those two, where people sometimes do all of the hustle work and none of the inner work, none of the healing, or do all of the mindset work and none of the actual steps forward. We need to be taking steps on both sides of the spectrum. And I believe that this approach of making that promise to yourself, making sure that the goals you're working towards align with your highest self, make sure you can pinpoint those goals on your vision board somewhere and say, yep, here's exactly where that fits in. You're destined for success. And when you can make that promise to yourself, you are destined for success. My next point here that I want to make for you, this is my last one. What is the positive ripple effect of you moving towards this goal? Think of it like waves. When you move towards this goal, so this is something that I keep kind of coming back to, where I say, this is really important for my life. You might be thinking, Kaylee, why is walking outside so important to your life? This simple goal of waking up early has changed my life in so many ways. And I've talked about this before, I believe, with saying that making your bed in the morning can make you a better person and make you able to cleanse spaces and naturally remove things that no longer serve you and naturally prioritize your future self. There is a positive ripple effect of this particular goal for me. Easier morning routine, 110%, so much easier. If you want the details of it, I'm going to show you in the vlog and talk to you about how it's been a lot easier for us since we started waking up earlier. It's given me a much more flowy day. I have more time. I just feel like I have a lot more time in my day. It's given me such better energy levels because I'm not oversleeping. I'm getting exactly the sleep that I need. I'm charging my battery right to where it needs to be, and then I'm able to show up so much better. I feel so much more clarity in my day, so much more organization, so much more peace, and I'm sleeping much better at night with all of these habits stacked on top of one another, and with this one as like the accumulation of all of those wonderful goals, from drinking enough water, staying hydrated, eating healthy, limiting my phone time. Doing it this way is just elite. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. So to go through all of them again as a quick overview: willpower, set yourself up for success; habit stacking, clear intentions and making sure it aligns with your dream life; excuse interruptions and rewriting your narrative around why you're here; setting parameters for sustainability; and following the positive ripple effect. Those are 7 things for you to set up your goals with success. And I believe that sitting down with those 7 things and looking at your goal and connecting all of those dots and then making the promise to yourself that you deserve this and your future self is waiting on you to show up for this goal, your success is just inevitable. If you want to go ahead and head to the description and download that $5 calendar, it includes daily micro goals, daily reflection, daily gratitude, journal prompts. It's so freaking cute. You can download it to your iPad, and it has a bonus week included, so it's 35 days of alignment technically, and it's such a cute little planner. So if you're intending to set a new goal and you want to stick with me on this, I highly recommend downloading that $5 calendar. It's so cute and it's so perfect for staying on track with all of these things we talked about today. If you're feeling out of touch with your purpose, out of touch with your goals, not sure what I'm talking about when I keep saying ikigai, and you're just like not sure what you want to be working towards right now and where your soul is calling you, go ahead and add the realignment workbook to your cart too, because it's an awesome resource for grounding yourself, coming back home to your why, and you can use this again and again and again. This is something that I use every single quarter myself. I don't share anything with you guys that I don't also use. It's really, really great to use. And then of course, join me in camp. You can get $100 off joining me in camp for a limited time only. It's our spring sale, and I'm so excited to share this life-changing experience with you. You can read more about it in the description. You can claim your spot, and of course, let me know if you have any questions about it. Send me an email, ask your questions, send me a message on Instagram. We can chat with one another. And don't forget, lastly, to subscribe to YouTube and tune into the vlog of me waking up at 6 in the morning every day. It will be a voiceover vlog with all of these ideas reiterated and me showing you a real life example of how initiating this goal and showing up for myself every day completely changed my life, and just reminding you that anything is possible for you. Anything that you want to manifest, it is already yours, and your future self is waiting for you to show up each day and make that promise and align with that energy, align with that vibration of the version of yourself that has all of the amazing things. It starts today with you saying yes to yourself and you saying yes to your dream. Thank you so much for being here today. Go ahead and download the free masterclass in the description. Connect with me on social media. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube. Anywhere you want to connect with me, send me a message. Let me know that you're tuning in. Go ahead and subscribe for emails so that you don't miss any future podcasts, and you can be a part of my digital diary. That is available on my website. So many other alignment goodies available on the website at KayleePhillips.com. And I am so happy that you're here today. I'm so grateful for you for being a part of my community. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you have a lovely day, and I hope to see you in camp.